So yeah, as a total as of now, I own 5 homes, 2 closed on, 3 in the process of working on, which that one I think I'll break even in like a year. So a little bit longer, but I can't complain because I'm literally cash flowing the whole time, on a zero down. So it's just incredible.
You've missed out on, or have there been any deals where you're
Yeah.
like, boy, I wish I had more money, I wish I acted quicker, or like, because
Yeah.
it seems like it's just layup after layup, but what are
Yeah,
you?
no, definitely, in between all this, I've had
Let's just admit why we don't have any idea where we were. I met your family. They
there we
came
go.
on Zoom. It was
Yeah,
wonderful. We've cut that part out, and now we're back doing this
there we
interview. So
go. So
let's.
anybody watching, they're
That's
like,
what
"What
this
the heck
big
just happened?"
jump was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
John had to meet the family.
that was so awesome. The moving along from your first deal, I mean, one deal's
Yeah,
great, but it's not going to
yeah,
set you up for life, obviously.
absolutely.
What's been happening since? You're in one park now. What's been the other? Yeah, what's been your experience since? Have you only
Sure,
dealt
yeah.
with the 3 bedrooms, or yeah, park? Yeah,
Oh
please.
yeah, yeah, that's right. I think that's kind of where you were talking about the bedrooms and whatnot. So anyway, so yeah, that was the first deal. And actually, as we were in the process, it all happened so fast. As we were in the process of fixing up that first deal, I got another call. Just random number. Said, "Hey, this is Michael. What's up?" So I had a gentleman call me about some homes that he had. So again, long story short, he ends up being a park owner, not just a park manager. So he's a gentleman who owns multiple parks actually. So this was like kind of one of those things where he knows exactly what I do. So he's calling me up. He knows what I'm here for and what I do, and he's just asking about if I'd be interested in looking at some properties. So I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I end up going out and looking at a couple properties that he had, and yeah, it ends up happening just again while we're still working on the first deal. So just a lot going on, kind of a whirlwind. But I end up going and looking at 2 other properties in a town up the road, probably like 45 minutes from my first deal. So I go out there and check those out, talk to you, take pictures, all that good stuff. And so end up closing on 2 other properties within like a week or 2 of having the first deal. So I haven't even closed on the first deal. I already have 2 other deals. So it's just crazy. Yeah. So talk to him, closed on those two deals. And yeah. So we
What were the?
also,
That was a cash. You bought those for cash. For how did you
yeah.
buy
So
those, or
this,
what was the?
yeah. So this was, I remember talking to you about it and you were kind of just like, what the heck? Cause this he's just a really cool guy, just really awesome guy. So again, he owns the park. So he understands what I'm doing, and he knows that, I'm here for him and to work with him. And, we're on the same team. And so he, is just, we talk, and he ends up offering 0 cash down and no lot rent until I get them sold. So I remember coming to you and you're just like, this guy sounds way too good to be true. And I was, obviously you got to be skeptical, but yeah. So we end up finalizing. And so we have a deal set up to where I don't pay a dime of my own money until I have someone in the home. And so that includes lot rent. So not paying lot rent and not paying. So as with the first deal, I did have to pay lot rent, which, I flipped it so fast that I didn't pay it, but I was still liable for it. But so for the second 2, nothing. So no lot rent owed or no cash down at the beginning. So it was just like the deal upon deals, something we dream about as investors, and it's not always going to happen. So I don't want to act like this is just something that's some people might never get that deal. It just so happened that he's an owner of a park, and so he's got that power to be able to say that.
He does. The reason I mentioned, because this is too good to be true, or where's this?
Yeah,
It's because many mobile home many mobile home park owners, they
yeah,
want
yeah,
to make as much as they can. They want to make money
yeah.
every single way they can, and
Hmm.
it's just because maybe they overpaid for the park, or they just want to make what they can
Sure.
make, and they're not. But this gentleman, we'll call him. What's a good nickname we can use?
We'll just call him Mark. We'll go with that.
Mark. There we go.
Mark. Yeah.
So
So
with
Mark.
Mark, he knew the bigger picture. Like he wasn't
Yeah.
overcharging you for. Now he did have to meet with
Hmm.
you. I feel like if
Hmm.
you were going to be like, if you were too hypey, if you didn't share his same, ideas for what this park, should
Yeah.
look like and be
Yeah.
like, but he trusted you. And if
Yeah.
he's going to give you a discount, if managers and owners give us a discount, it's because they like us and they trust us. They don't have to worry about us. So he gave you
Absolutely.
that discount. And then that's just so icing on the cake. You don't have to
Yeah.
pay anything until you get them
Hmm.
sold. What was I mean, are you paying like full retail price, or are you paying just,
Hmm.
you're paying?
No, these were more fixer uppers than the first one. So
Okay.
they're not these two in particular weren't extreme fixer uppers. So well actually no, I take that back. One of them they were both fixer uppers, but one of them had some moisture issues, and I didn't know how far what extent they would be to. So we talked, and so I ended up trying to just go ahead and sell that one as a handyman special, and just say like, hey, this one has some moisture issues. It had like a couple roof leaks, so it just wasn't something that we had discussed, and just I ended up not wanting to tackle. So I sold that one immediately. But yeah, so no, he gave me a great deal on them, and then turned around and sold that first one very quickly. So I'll just pay him back. So as I get paid monthly, I'll pay him back just half of what I make until he's paid off. So I'm literally making cash flow, but at the same time paying off what I owe. Which that one I think I'll break even in like a year, so a little bit longer, but I can't complain because I'm literally cash flowing the whole time, on a zero down. So it's just incredible. So sold the first one right off the bat, so didn't touch it. So just sold that one, and then with the second one, I tried to sell it immediately, and I ended up taking it down because like, you know what, I think I could if I fix it up, I could get a little bit more for it. So I ended up taking it down, and so I'm still in the process of working on that one and getting that one fixed up.
So that's home number 3.
Yep. So two deals down. Literally, I closed on my first deal, and a week from the day that I closed on my first deal, I closed on that second one. So I remember it was on a Tuesday. I was like, all right, apparently this is going to be closing Tuesday, title Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. So I was like, hey, if this keeps up, we're in good shape every Tuesday. But so no, obviously not every Tuesday, but back to back. So that was awesome. So 2 deals down, have the third one I'm working on, and then again, talking to Mark, he had a whole nother park in another area, that same situation. He had some other deals. So long story short on that, ended up getting 2 more from him. So closed on those. So same deal, same situation. So yeah, as a total as of now, I own 5 homes, 2 closed on, 3 in the process of working on. So it's just been a whirlwind. I didn't know what it was going to look like. And again, every story is going to be different for every person. Sometimes it's going to, and I've heard, people on your show, it can be a grind, it's not always like this.
Have there been any deals that you've missed out on, or have there been any deals where you're
Yeah.
like, boy, I wish I had more money, I wish I acted quicker, or like, because
Yeah.
it seems like it's just layup after layup, but what are
Yeah,
you?
no, definitely. In between all this, I've had multiple calls from people, and just dead end, dead end, dead end. So again, I don't want it to make it sound like this has just been a walk in the park. Just throw a couple bandit signs out, and you're gonna make deal after deal, because that's not the case. And it's kind of an anomaly to say. I can't even speak. But to be able to, it's a rare occurrence. We'll say that. I don't know how to use English. It's very rare to be in the situation where, yeah, we had the park owner, reach out and had the deals. So, and I remember talking to you about that. So that was, again, so I don't want to set anyone up to think that it's always going to happen like this, but I've heard stories, so it's just situation to situation. It's different for everyone. So yeah, it's just been, but yeah, as far as if you want to bring up wounds, as far as missing out on deals, yeah, early on, I had again, right after, it was weird. I had all these calls right after I got that first deal. So I had another call. I was out working my full-time job. So I got this call, had a gentleman, and, we categorize people as like their need to sell, I guess. So this guy was very much needing to sell, so he was very motivated seller. So I was talking to him. And so long story short, we ended up talking, and I was going to go out and he took pictures of the property, just a couple, to see kind of like what shape it was in, and I was like, okay, no, this is definitely something I'm interested in. And the cool thing, it was actually right up the road from my very first deal, so I was like, oh, this would be awesome, it's right there. And so like price range, he was saying like at 5,000, he's like, oh, maybe get five for it. And so I was gonna go out and look at it, like in a, I couldn't I couldn't get out of work soon enough, so it was gonna be a couple hours. So I was like, okay, I'll come out in a couple hours and check it out. Well, that was not. Let's just say I should have tried my very best to get out there, because I guess he had called a few of them We Buy Mobile Home signs, and so literally, I remember even talking to you like, I'm gonna go check this out. What do you think? And you're like, that would be, even for 5,000, it would be a really good deal, because it was in good shape. Needed a couple cosmetic things, but anyway, so he calls me back like an hour later, before I was about to head that way, and he's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know I sold it. And he's like, a lady came and offered me 2,000 cash, and I took it. And I was just like, dude, like what? I was just I was like, I would have given you 3,000 easily. Like what are you doing? Like, I was so frustrated. I was like, I would have given you 3,000, 4,000, like, because it would have been worth it. But this lady comes in, and I mean, credit to her. I can't be too angry. She came in there, offered $2,000 cash, and he liked the sight of that cold hard cash, so transferred title right then and there. And so it was just like crushing. I was just like, that would have been my second deal at the time, so it was right in between when I got these other deals. So I remember calling you, and you were just like, yeah, that sucks.
You're so hopeful, and then that, like, your heart
Yes.
just
Yeah, because it
sinks.
was right there. If I mean, who knows what would have happened, but I mean, if I would have just had the opportunity to get in the home and just talk to him, because on the phone he was like, yeah, I think I'd like to work with you. You seem like a good guy, blah blah blah, and just, yeah, and all that goes down in the drain, because he got offered $2,000 cash, and that's all it took for him. So that one was rough.
Did he get that offer over the phone, or was it someone that actually showed up
She
and
showed
made
up.
that?
She showed
Okay.
up. Yeah. And the worst part was, she showed up like an hour. Like I said, I told him I could be there in like 2 hours, and it was like an hour later. So if I would have went immediately, and looking back, I probably could have made it work. So to where I could have gotten over there, I was just like, oh, I need to get a couple things done. I'll get over there in a couple hours. Yeah, so the moral of the story is, if you think that there's a possibility of a deal, you've got to be on it, because it doesn't last long.
You cannot steal in slow motion is a
No.
saying that my
Yeah.
mentor once told me. The
No, it's very.
most of us have that. Most of us have that happen to us. Most of us are.
Yeah.
That's how we touch the stove. We're a little too greedy, or we're a little too slow, or we're a little too
Hmm.
comfortable, or we're a little too trusting, or something. And then that's how we get burned. And then
Yeah.
it usually happens once, and it hopefully won't happen again. Some of us are quicker
Yep.
learners than others. That person that was calling you, did they, or no, I'm sorry, that gentleman who sold it for two grand,
Yeah.
was that one on, like, online anywhere that you knew of?
No, no, no. It was just, again, he was a motivated seller. He had another house, so he had lived in that one, and so he had to get this one sold, and so he was like as motivated as it gets. He was just clearly, because lady offered him $2,000, and he took it, and I was
It
just like, dude, I would have given you an extra
didn't
two
even,
thousand.
right. Didn't
So it's
even
like,
want
what
to
are you
wait.
doing?
Hmm.
No, yeah, like at least let me offer something before you take it. But I'm sure,
Hmm.
again, credit to this lady, I'm sure her approach was, here you go, 2,000 cash, take it or leave it. And he couldn't, risk not making that, I guess. So I guess it was sufficient for him.
The sellers that are not online, the sellers that don't have
Hmm.
their property plastered online,
Yeah.
those are out there. For the folks watching this video and listening, there are transactions happening around you. I'm not going to say on like a 20 times a day basis, but
Yeah.
on a semi-daily basis, there are transactions happening. You have I mean, Michael, you have hundreds of parks around you. If you're willing to go far
Yeah.
enough, you have hundreds of parks. In those
Yeah.
hundreds of parks, there's absolutely people that you don't know who they are. They're going through silent struggles. They have just a sign in the window. They have no sign in the window. And those
Yeah.
folks that are not on the market yet, when someone finds them, this lady who, you know, got there before you did, or someone else, only like 2 or 3 people or 4 people need to find them because it goes so fast. So
Yeah,
it's, you know,
absolutely.
so anyway, it's just all going back to what you said about the moral of
Yeah.
the story: move
Hmm.
fast. And now that you feel that and you can internalize that, I mean, I don't have to
Yeah.
tell you, you're like, yeah, I know, John, thanks.
Yep.
Like, I know.
Yeah, it still
We're rubbing
hurts.
it in.
It
Yeah.
still hurts. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, that was honestly like I don't even think we had talked, and I wouldn't even have thought to offer her that much. You know, I mean him that much because I would have been just like a slap in the face. But he took it. So yeah, that's another thing. You just never know. You know, just people. Everyone's got their price. You know, just because they say they want $10,000 doesn't mean they won't let it go for 2 or 3. You know, so just like my first deal, she initially said 6, you know, and ended up buying it for 3. And so this gentleman, he said 5 and sold it for 2.
We usually want to be polite and tactful and candid and
Yeah.
explain what we're doing, but sometimes making it rain on them and just saying, hey,
Yeah.
take the money, and we don't even have
Yeah.
to explain. I mean, like, just all sellers are very different. And what
Yeah. Yeah.
that gentleman that, like, some people would have said, oh no, I have like 2 more people coming, like I promised
Hmm.
that they would walk through and then I'll take
Yeah.
it. Like, so some
Yeah.
people would have, you know, honored that, and other people, no, they'll call. Some people won't even call you. You knock on the guy's door and he's like, oh, I sold it already, you know.
Yep.
So at least he
Exactly. Yeah.
kind
No.
of called. People are
Yeah.
not that fun.
Yeah, at least well, I was one who was like, "Hey, are we still good to swing by?" And he's like, I actually just sold it." And it's like, "Dude,
Oh,
what the heck?"
yeah, seriously.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Just to let you know, I would have given you a lot more if you would have just waited, you know?
Did you say that?
So, no, I
Okay.
held my tongue.
Okay.
I did tell him in a polite way, I was like, "Oh," you know, I was just pretty off, but I was like, "Oh, wow, I would have at least offered 3 or more," you know, and he's like, "Oh, well, she just had the cash and I just had to take it." And I'm just like, "Oh gosh." So, you know, one of those situations. I guess he just was, yeah, just ready to get out of there.
Was it even at the end of the month where, like, next month's lot
No,
rent was due?
I
No?
no, it was just mid-month. So,
Okay.
yeah, I guess just the heaviness of having a whole other home to pay for. Just, you know, he was just ready to get out of it, and it was a
Emotional.
great little home. I think it was a 3-2 and just in good shape. So unfortunate. So that was definitely a one I'll remember for a little while. But part of it, you know, you live and you learn.
You have you live and you learn, you experience so much, you know, you try to improve yourself and improve yourself and
Hmm.
improve yourself. You've done so much already. You're only in 2, technically 3 parks, kind of 2 to
Yeah,
3 parks.
technically three, but you know, under one owner,
Yeah.
so only dealing with 2 managers, I guess, at the moment.
You have so much more to do. I mean, and that's just
Yeah,
mobiles and parks. That's not on land.
yeah,
That's just, there's so much more. So,
yeah, just scratching the surface.
but you are the one that put in the effort. And I think that's so, you know, going kind of full circle to the beginning
Yeah,
of the Zoom call, you are the one putting in the effort. All of this, you know, education would be useless without you actually putting in all the work, day and
yeah,
day and day again. And your
yep,
wife, they're supporting you, and you know, doing this for your family. And
yeah.
um,
No, definitely hand in hand. I obviously got a lot to do on my end, but yeah, without, and just credit to you, just without, again, just the wealth of knowledge and the paperwork and all the nitty gritty stuff. I don't know how many times you've had to explain what a personal property trust is, and I still don't know fully what it is, but just learning, you know, it's all new. So I'm like, "Hey, John, what's this?" I'm, you know, I don't know what's going on. So just your patience and just, yeah. So for anyone who's not stepped into this interested, or who are just, you know, listening, just where I was, and again, just listening to all the people sing your praises. Yeah, until you do it, you know, you're always just skeptical to, you know, really step in there, and just take the plunge. But yeah, it's been, again, I couldn't have done it without you. Just so a ton of credit to you, and your program was just super. You know, I'm very down to earth, basic. You know, just tell me how it is, and you're, you know, just going through the modules. It's not like this super complicated class. Like you lay it all out there. It's super, beneficial.
thank you so much. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you for saying that. Seriously, I hope
Yeah,
so. I mean, otherwise, it's like
yeah,
there's so many things to get confused about in general. It's like
sure,
this should be very. I mean, it's not easy. There's like a ton of
yeah,
steps. I guess it's
yeah.
sort of easy, but it's like there's just a ton of steps, and it's not easy
No,
because
there is.
it
No, it's
scares
not.
us.
No.
It,
Yep.
I mean, once you do it a bunch of times, I suppose it becomes easy, but I guess that's anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
it
And
is
that's
scary.
just it. Just having your number on speed dial was just, a huge help, and you're still there, and so
Yeah.
we'll have that connection. But just it's just been even cool seeing, even like after the first deal, I had a ton of questions for that, but then into the second deal, like, didn't have to bother you nearly as much. And that's the goal. As I continue to learn and ask all these questions, I hope to retain some of that knowledge to where I don't have to bug you as much. And yeah,
Bug
so
me
it's been
as much as needed. I'll
yeah,
bug
no,
you.
I
I'll keep calling you and
there you
bothering
go.
you.
There you go. Yeah, it still blows my mind. You've got a lot of, you got a lot on your plate, but you still somehow manage to make time for me. So it's just I was pretty surprised with that. Coming into it, I was like, I don't know how much you'll be able to help me, just because I know you're helping a lot of other people. But yeah, I mean, you'd call me sometimes. I'm like, what the heck? How does this guy even remember who I am? He's got a lot going on. So yeah, you've held me accountable too. So and it's been awesome, having you check up on me, kind of make sure I'm still on track, doing what I need to be doing. So that's been really helpful too.
Thank you so much for saying that. I mean, really,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
it, I know that's the way, like when I got started,
Yeah,
that's what helped me so much. Being accountable,
yeah,
having someone that I could talk to on speed dial when I think speed dial was a thing. I don't even know if
yeah,
it's still a thing anymore. But
yeah, whatever.
they, but again, it's useless without you putting in the time and the effort. Thank you so much. I'm not going anywhere. I want to, we'll be talking for many, many,
Yeah,
hopefully years to come. I hope
absolutely.
that that video was helpful. The investors that I interview on this channel are people that I work with, and the credit goes to them. We spend a good deal of time together over the phone, working on deals, looking at pictures, making offers together. But the folks that I work with, the folks that I interview, including a lot of folks that have their own YouTube channels now. I've been helping folks for the past 10 years invest in mobile homes, and I really help to keep people out of trouble, save people money, and make people a lot of money as well. Now, the people I interview on this channel, again, the credit goes to them. Yes, there's a lot of time that we spend together, but ultimately it's that investor, just like it might be you in the future, putting in the time and the effort and the energy and having 1,000 opportunities to just give up along the way. If you think that this is something for you, if you'd like to learn more about mobile home investing, you can check out a free website, mobilehomeinvesting.net. Should be right up here somewhere. And then if you want to get started working one-on-one potentially or learn more about what that takes, you can always go ahead and go to the website below that you see right there, and you can learn more about moving forward with a training program called the Mobile Home Formula, and us working together one-on-one with daily phone calls, daily help, as needed. This business is real time. You're going to have questions. Things change day to day. If you can believe it, in real estate, it just changes day to day like that. You're seeing new things, you're talking to new people, and you should have somebody on your side. Somebody that has over 18 years of experience and has helped a number of people with some crazy situations and stories. And I don't say that to brag or anything. I just say that because there's a lot of weird situations out there that I might not have believed him if I didn't go through them, firsthand or secondhand, helping so many people from the East Coast to the West Coast, or the West Coast to the East Coast, depending on which way this video is turned. Okay, so thanks so much for watching this video. Again, I really hope that it was helpful. If we never work together, you can always email me. My email's always on for you again, support@mobilehomeinvesting.net. If you ever need me, support@mobilehomeinvesting.net regardless. And then anything else, have a great rest of the day. I hope that you learned so much. Take massive action. You can do this. If you have any questions, reach out. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.